NFM Radio.
When you were a baby, your mama told you not to play with fire. And yes, sir, the fire will burn you, and you got to be very careful with fire. Yes, Mansa Musa, the unusual Sunday issue, Sunday program. Call a friend to tell a friend. Tonight, all being well, I will have discussion with a NADMO representative here live on Studio NFM Radio.
Radio.
You don't have to play with fire. Be very careful with fire indeed. And all being well as well, the woman organizer of the NPP will also come and share her views with us concerning elections in Ghana. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? The Showdown Group there are things that we can discuss, and everything else we think we got to discuss. So if you are all with you, why do you person when you be home common? And so to me, would you be Roman? Nobody in common. Right, so Oja fire will burn you. You are listening to Mansa Musa, another beautiful, beautiful Sunday evening. Yesterday was Saturday and today is a Sunday. Usually I do not do Sundays. But sometimes when the need arises and when it is necessary to do, then we got to do the do. You see what I mean? So obviously that is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm now here in the studio waiting for my guest to join. Hopefully they would join. The gentleman in Accra, what do we call it? The Nadbo rep is the Nadmo rep. Yeah, he's struggling with connection or internet or signal or something. But hopefully. As for the women's organizer for the NPPA in the UK, well, we've spoken this afternoon, and hopefully she will find time to come and discuss a little bit of she thinks is going to happen, or what it is that is happening here there in Accra, in our country, Ghana. So don't go away, stay tuned in, and Mansa Musa, I'm gonna furnish you with all the news and tidbits that is, just coming, the current trending issues and news. We'll discuss everything. Don't go away at all.
Discotech, verano del 79, con la mejor música del mundo.
Ojae!
So, regarding the floods and spillage, whatever you call it, down there in the lower Volta Basin, Mr. Ablakwa, or the MP for the area, is questioning why, for some reason, orders have been given for the soldiers helping with food, with food to victims in Mepe, apparently have been asked to leave or withdrawn. It's a member of parliament for Northton, Samuel Okujato Abrakwa, has slammed the government and the leadership of Ghana Armed Forces over an order for the detachment helping victims in Mepe to cross flood waters to immediately withdraw. That means the soldiers were using their little boat or dinghies to help people cross, overflowing waters, and apparently they've been asked to withdraw. In a post shared on X, that is we know as Twitter, On Sunday, October 22nd, the MP indicated that military personnel had started packing their accoutrements or their equipment, citing an order from above. So order from above, video. Why wouldn't be a chrome? They be a betis. I'll try and see if I can get Mr. Okutoto Abrakwa. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Hang on a second. I need to go for a quick break. I'll be back.
Busiafo sese die ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana e fi wiase afa na nyina ye ntia ka pre ane aye free top connect amasika mani aye mrekra ye wuhia ne se wo be download with top connect app no e Play Store dia ma wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa manda buraduo num so wo Europe North America and Asia wo mane wo dofu sika fa top connect so a aye tem na emre na mawa hoto so sese die sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia for top connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect our befon tintenfidie nyina so top connect for sika mane wa dofo sunjemu a untia ka pre top connect yensu ye dienie
Cecilia Abinadapa, well done. Well done. I thought you were a woman and a mother who had compassion. They said, give a position to a woman and she'll do far better than a man. But these days, what do we see? It's sad. It's disheartening. Year in, year out, flood affects people in Accra. The Odo River gets flooded. Lives are destroyed. Properties are destroyed. You said you used $43 million to clean the Odo River. Have you seen what $43 million could do in Dubai, or in Europe, or in America? Shame unto you. It's so sad. It's so disheartening. We live in this country, people cannot even afford 1 meal a day. And some people out there who have very little are trying everything possible to reach out to those who don't have any. But you, the politicians, all you think about is grabbing. You have only one child, I was told. You have only one child, and you are grabbing all these properties for only one child. How about those kids in our front plains, those kids at the north, those kids in the Volta region somewhere, those kids in remote villages in Ashanti region, in Central region, in every part of Ghana? Look, there was a kid I met in Sogakope. They are so poor that there are 3 siblings. Every morning, their meal is yesterday banku with raw pepper, no tomatoes, just pepper and salt, with no fish. The day I asked my mother to give them soup, it was like, you are bringing kids from the war zone who haven't eaten for a year. When they saw soup in a plate that day, oh, politicians are wicked in this country. You people cannot even afford to go to hospitals. I have a little charity. My colleagues from work and my friends, they help me with their little income and we reach out to people in the remote parts of the water region. They have nothing, absolutely nothing to eat. You guys are just there, amassing Ghana's wealth, misusing donors' funds. Aren't you ashamed of yourself? And today's Sunday, July 23rd, 2023, I believe most of you are in your churches, praising God, thanking God.
Right, if you've just tuned in, don't worry at all. I haven't said much. I'm just still trying to tune up things. Internet and its responses everywhere. Tambia no sanity. Kase Mr. Ablakwa also my signal say on Sukuta internet problem. And hopefully when it's sorted out we'll get him. But for now, should I say that I'm very happy to announce that Mr. George AEC, he works for NADMO, he's a NADMO representative, and hopefully obetumi achirechire mu ensem de ekoso emu kakra ama ya swate. Mr. George, he says, "How to me can Aquaba?" Brilliant. Anyway, I started exactly 6 p.m. but and I said 5 p.m. in Ghana, but because of network issues, but still, and we are happy to have you. Ubet me you when di kakra, present yourself to my listeners. Say, what are you? Who are you? And in terms of NADMO, what role do you play? I can see that Mr. AEC's system has frozen. Hopefully, we will get him back. Hello? But I can see that his system, a freezy, unlike Antina a friend was that on there. A freezing nisika on freezy. So someone should unfreeze this for me. The signal issue back in Accra or Ghana is something that is rather edosu crowded. Anyway, we will see if we will get him back. And then you remember say you didn't come about the flood situation. The flood that was caused by, Obibeka said deliberate, because there was too much water behind the Volta Akosombo Dam. Dam, it is just a wall, simply, a wall to stop water from flowing freely. So if you could remember, some time back, there wasn't enough water in the, behind the dam. And I say that means they cannot open the turbines. Turbines, I to say a motor. Now, what drives that motor? What drives the motors is the water. Yeah, Mr. Easy, when you but when you but you bet your voice in the room. Welcome back. Mr. Uzi, your microphone. Okay, let's see. We are still not getting him properly. Let's allow him to sort himself out. You see, so the story is that this time around there's too much water behind the dam. And if there's too much water, it means the very integrity of the dam. Just a dam now, and I'm actually my say dam no. Would the simple understanding say who church mu simply I to say wall what now they are stopping you from the insuring from flowing. That's all. It is ensuring baby wall nature. But when I said wall no be bubu. Yes, you say your dam no be bubu. Enti according to say anytime be an ensuring baby brain, they have to let out some of the water. So we can say a deliberate, man-made sort of disaster now happened. But you were not more representative for Hayembusan 1 or 2B. Mr. George, good evening and welcome to the show. Yenim say a signal no any strength in very weak, but yen try kakra. Let me Musa says obey to me identify who are you and what are you? What do you do? We at Nadmo.
Musa. We did the George Bedray, a director of communication, Mansa, Dr.
For some reason, I don't know. Mike now will use I say echo be wumpa. I don't know. My tuning a unisa, but I had to say call radio swa nitibe the all but with the young course whilst you try to manage it. Me assure sir you are not driving, are you?
I'm not driving, I'm moving. I'm in a moving vehicle right now.
Enuntina. Enti si enyina na yenni ko kakra na yento aso. Anyway, enti na me say okay. Right. Okay, enti wa chechere mbabi a wo adwuma wo ye Nadmo. Can you tell us what has happened from the beginning, what you know? I mean the preparation Nadmo had or have. What you practice for. You say something about simulation here the other day. What you guys practice for, and tell us the general outlook of your job or what you are supposed to do with regards to what has happened at the Volta Akosombo Volta Basin. Take it away, Mister.
Well, VRA, Volta River Authority, we do someone a dam, no, so Akosombo Dam, Pond Dam, and I am the Pui Dam, so one so it from time to time, assessment there, dam, no, ebia, issue a bebemuno, edu baby, a bedoso. The bad situation now, they ought to be spilling. And by law, I was almost be a friend of emergency preparedness plan. And to DRA for a emergency preparedness plan. I'm a whatever chair not more and then who you have they tested by emergency preparedness plan in any EP, And in the process of testing, I was a simulation exercise. The downstream of the Akosombo Dam. In case dam great water level no rising, numbers failure. The consequential effect of being our downstream districts, towns, communities, what we need to do. And somewhere around March of this year, started engagement in May, and they decided simulation exercise. Simulation exercise, test exercise, as I say, the preparedness level of the response agency and the VRA itself. If you know any exercise down also, 9 districts were involved. I was downstream of the Akosombo Dam. Empo Yamatando district, standby. I feel when the spillage near higher, Ebia backlash effect, or Ebia Pando area on them. Also, but food we put them on standby. Any exercise, we brought the community, the district assembly, all the 9 district assemblies within the catchment area. Involved. Exercise, community members were brought in. Drama, any normal say. In case say a feeling that overflow the banks are affected the community, they will move here. Places to say school, community center, story here. These are the places, and after some will be moved out of the area altogether. It's a exercise, no better truth, Mansa Musa, and he said, now and conforming in the village will happen because 2022, engagement with the community said there's the possibility that village may happen. but because the level no do baby and not be expecting the almost delay. And so yes, I may they thought say a normal a year, it's not going to happen. And no any year in May of this year. Thereafter, you involve all assemblies. Not more has officers in all the 9 districts, and we even have zonal officers. Zonal officers. We involve our regional director and her team. This exercise, that is what we did, preparing for this eventuality. In case of a spillage, here institutions were the Bebeni, and who was here yeni. A do so, you may you more for A, B, C point. These are some of the effects. Maybe I must you best, maybe I must school. No, who started and that is the way the year testing the emergency preparedness plan of the Volta River Authority before September spillage. Spillage on the 15th of September at 1,000 cubic meters or liters per second, and they move to 5.
We've lost Mr. EC again. His system has frozen. Hopefully, it will be unfrozen, just like Madam Cecil Dapa's money, and he will come back to explain. The conversation has just begun. I mean, it is rather very, very interesting that we should know. Seeing in IATS here, say, and I'm saying, sir, his pillage now, Akoso Modam, no. It has been so bad to the extent that, in fact, other international news broadcasters, even this current with this current concentration of everyone on what is going on in the Middle East, still Al Jazeera had time to showcase this flood and how it has affected people in the area. Right, you are back again. Yet yes, here at any freeze here near Nyabutramano. Okay, into 2 hours Samsuna Fesimae. Yeah, Mr. Utiminka. Okay. Mr. Ewusi is having difficulty staying with us, but we will persist and try to manage the situation small. Okay. Right, Mr. Ewusi. Yeah. Try what some office for Anusimai.
Yeah, and the preparation. Prior to the spillage, there was engagement, partnership, and then NADMO, MVR in all the response agencies, Ghana Fire Service, Ghana Ambulance Service, Ghana Health Service, Ghana Police Service, the other response, in fact, Ghana Army, 48 for normal in Navy at that time, soldier 4 by, but I wouldn't say they were specifically Navy or 48 who came. And see, all these respondent agencies, they are involved in this simulation exercise prior to this situation occurring. And see, this is the brief about the operation prior to this village, which began in September of 2023.
Right. And what simulation? What sort of simulation are you talking about? Say, more NADBO, any soldiers, any other agencies, and I'm more practicing how to evacuate, how to relocate, how to serve, how to, try to feed people, get people medical. Or what sort of simulation did the Volta VRA people also did some sort of simulation to your understanding? Normally, we simulation
Yes, almost there at that time, normal spilling water there, but we use the in the case almost spilling dam no cost almost spilling. The inundation map places are ensuring to be affected, and I am be a move more and not the respondent agency. The communities were involved. All the district assemblies were involved. We set up an emergency operation center. That is where we have the district assembly there. Even now, I have an emergency operation center. And so that is where something like incident command post. And from there, we did all the works in all the places that are likely to be inundated in case of a spillage. And that is what we did. We gave you the overview. So, okay, yes, it's shown this area. I'm not affected this area. South Town, North Town, Central Town, all these places will be affected. Shai Sudoku and all those places. That is what. So we involved all the district assembly. But this is what will happen, and this is how the evacuation will be done.
His machine has dropped again.
And these are the places that, if I'm not mistaken, everybody that is important in the exercise in case of any spillage was brought in.
Involved. Very good. So, what if I understand you well? VRA provided their simulation results, given that they didn't have to practically let out water. But this day and age, we have gadgets, computer simulate AI, artificial intelligence can simulate everything, and so they should know that when they open those floodgates, billions of water, gallons or liters of water going to flow. And I will say, the whole map will be befa insurance the bayan nature say very for the information no more security and all these disaster control agencies say munya no information nyina sa na wo pa kire.
Yes, you know munya na here we know. Yes, I will work according to their EPP, emergency preparedness plan, and so they gave us all the strategic places. And also, who said this now in 9 districts downstream will be affected. And carry out the population exercise. And I'm going to tell you, the Kwando fire on standby. In case of backlash, they may also have some little effect. They should be on standby and be part of the process. And that is what made change. It was a full-scale simulation, not a tabletop simulation. Full scale, we went
can you remind us again, sir? Simulation understanding of what things might turn out or what can happen. No? When did this understanding came to you guys? Time span between when you did the simulation, got the overview of what may happen and the time the spillage itself occur, and how many weeks, days or months?
Yeah, Mansa Musa, I'm said the planning committee started its work in March of this year. March, April, May. May we had a full-scale simulation. May, June, July, August, September, spillage began. September 15th, spillage began.
So roughly about 6 months. About 4 or 5 months. Okay.
Yes.
In this regard, would you say, your preparation was or has been adequate?
Yes, as far as the way for the response here, we will say yes, we put in our men to be ready, our readiness, preparedness plan, everything was in place. One thing I be we didn't have a national evacuation center. We are moving all of them to point A because we village now started. Village now started from 5,000 cubic liters per second. No, and you declare level 2 disaster, level 2 or phase 2 disaster. And the level 2, no, heightened disaster level. From 1,000 to 5,000, it was level 1. But you started spilling from 5,000 cubic liters per second, that is a level 2 at TTE. So now it's gone to over 6,700 cubic liters per second. That is a high. The way I asked them, the water level now reduced, they push it to about 10,000, and we're going to have more challenges. Yes, once the emergency level was heightened, it put us in readiness for response. You say, then to move people, we need to get evacuation centers or what we call safe havens, and then move people there. But because we don't have a national evacuation center, I know if you are in some challenges, but we were ready and prepared to respond to this situation.
Right. So again, if I understand you are, the simulation gave you, exactly this time should be given exact. I think the theoretical aspect of what can happen. And also my small research these days actually say any simulation done for this particular activity, would show that the volume of water that can escape to cause havoc was far, far higher than what has happened in Libya. If that is correct, how come the relocation, at least those living by the water basin, the very edges of the Volta River, all those people shouldn't have, their problems shouldn't have come as a surprise. Those living very close to the water, at least, they should have been relocated, moved well before even the spillage began. What do you say to this criticism?
Well, in the ideal situation, yes. It's not a culture for myself. We don't have a national evacuation center, but we've identified schools and communities, churches and places that they will move across. But let me tell Mansa Musa, even when the village in the shop, some houses were inundated, and for 4 years move be crowded, they didn't want to leave. Some even agreed, so let's take their wives and kids away. They will be there to protect their property. When they know,
Mr. Easy, as for this complaint, you have every right. I don't mean you personally, but your organization have every right to say this to us. It happens everywhere. I watch TV. Look, people refusing to leave when bombs are dropping, but the volume, the magnitude, many will have to be moved, and if those many had been moved, obviously there's still going to be havoc, but it wouldn't have affected so many people. And so in that respect, as an organization, as a people, like I say, you are answering, but it's nothing personal to you. Your bosses, would they have come at me? Should they come out to say to Ghanaians, maybe we failed in certain respect?
Yeah, Mansa Musa, who was in your simulation, maybe enough sensitization, even though some were having doubts. And by now, I'm telling you, we'll be recording fatality. But so far, there's no official record of fatality as a result of the spillage. And for they realized the danger. They saw, yes, the levels, what the people told us is coming into reality. So, that is it. But the difficulty we had, we had to use force to move those men who thought they would stay back and protect their property. And see, that is it. So far, I record fatality. Even though, yes, there were evacuation center and the moment DRA started the spillage at 1,000 cubic meters per second, and you move it would have been the best thing for us. But the difficulty there, it's there. So sometimes maybe we should have used the coercive force from the get-go. Maybe.
Fair enough. Going forward, what I'm saying is, the simulation, it should give the authorities at VR say, hey, this is going to be massive. They should be able to pinpoint exact figures, water spillage or the volume of water that is going to overrun places. They should know. And if they knew and they gave you guys, that means you should also have known that this is, unprecedented is going to be. And so that excuse or reason for maybe a bit of like cadasical or, people say they won't leave and the rest. I'm not sure that is what has caused the problem. The whole problem is that your organization, not only you, but many, government or public institutions are inadequately resourced. They are not resourced properly. Is that the case or not?
Of course, resource-wise, we are not under-resourced. Not more is one of the organizations that is not well-resourced in the country. I will admit that. We have resource challenges. That is a matter of fact. It's an open secret to everyone in the country. So the NADMO itself, there were challenges as far as resources are concerned. That notwithstanding, because we are resource constrained, we train our men. From every year, we have a partnership with North Dakota Gas from the United States, U.S. Africans. We do partnership to train our men. Okay, some are trained here, some we take them to North Dakota for training and bring them back. Watermanship training, we go to Dowenya and other places to do training. I'm a director there, but in such exercises, I also go on the boat and dive into the water, of course, with my life jacket, and then swim to safety. That is what, so that in case...
Mr. You see, I personally don't doubt your abilities, your capabilities, your training and everything. But we are talking about resources here. As an emergency group, let's take practical things. How many bed sheets do you have stored for this emergency? How many mattresses do you have? How many buckets do you have? Because all these things you give out, some are perishable. Buckets may be spoiled or that, but bed sheets, blanket, bunker beds, how many, those sort of things that will make people survive in case. What do you have? What do you have?
You are talking relief, right? You are talking relief.
Exactly.
Yes, the normal thing is, yes, what we do is we have 4 major warehouses in the capital. Then we have points in all the regional.
Before I bet to us, Mr. Obia Basono, let me see your name. I don't want to, Mr. Abdul Razak Ibrahim, please mute your microphone. When you are ready to speak, just give me electronic hands up and I'll let you speak. Mr. Isienko.
Yeah, it will be a friend of prepositioning of relief items. Once I have 4 major warehouses, then we preposition them in all the regions. In case there's a disaster, they can use that as a first aid. Then we do restocking from the national capital. Yes. As of the way like I say, you're relief we are near one of too encouraging. I'm being honest with you. It wasn't too encouraging.
I want to be very, look, we are all Ghanaians. We are not going to apportion blames and, partisan or political here. But the fact is, you are saying that even though you had the knowledge or you were given the red flags were raised as to what may happen, well and truly you knew or that you were not sufficiently equipped to deal with the situation. Is that the case? If that's the case, did you alert your political masters, so to speak?
Oh, definitely. We have a budget. Every year we submit our budget. And if it's not here and there's a contingent, we go through the Ministry of Interior to the Ministry of Finance. And we have been assured that
please bear with Mr.
Disaster management organization.
Your line dropped a bit, so if your line drop, I hope you get to know so that you can stop and restart. Otherwise, what you say behind it we don't hear. So if you are listening to me, please take it away. Carry on. That is if you can hear me. Right, Mr. AEC line not drop up. Hopefully, we'll get him back. Mr. AEC is one of the directors at NADMO, and if you heard him right, he has just explained certain aspects, and that he has said that hand on heart, I mean, so to speak, on the street level, he's being factual that they are not well resourced, and no matter how preparedness or preparation they will make, things regarding how to save people from disaster in that terms is not very, very, very well resourced, so to speak. I mean, pull it mildly. Hopefully we'll get him back to continue, because you see, we are doing this we are doing this to find out, so that we all, even when we those in diaspora, can appreciate, can understand the magnitude, how things are done and why certain things don't get satisfactory, Mr. Iziwasaba, yeah, Mr. Izi. Let me check the Musa. We are doing this not to castigate anybody, but just to make sure that we in diaspora will appreciate, we understand where we're coming from, where we are going, in terms of, if sometimes even how to help, in this respect. So the question is that for me, Mr. Izuo, let's just say, okay, say what is happening? What is happening on the ground?
Yeah, on the ground, I say, I hear simulation about reality. Reality is and for as of count yesterday, about 31,000 people displaced as a result of the spillage, spanning all the places. We have over 20 safe havens or evacuation centers established, with the highest holding about 1,500 and the least holding about 37. When there's a need to split any point, you're finding another way for
NFM Radio.
You will relieve support in terms of dry food and wet ensure issue critical. Ensure around the St. Kizito area and ensure it's seriously polluted or contaminated. So who snap boats move to cross St. Kizito, which is also a safe haven or evacuation center. The stench from the water the Ketwa. But Zoom Lion has also waded in, and I believe they will do some disinfection or fumigation or something. I have a level. And I ensure so first now water tanks at the bar it's about, if I'm not mistaken, 25 to 30 kilometers away. But now as the email water pumping point and treatment center, PRA has worked it out and it's working, so the tankers can get the water closer and move into the other places. So far, feeding is ongoing. The challenger and now we have made the move to get them flashlights and so. And you may complain is that because of the situation, EPD and not of power, and for the safety of the people, so that nobody will be electrocuted or something. And light a problem. We are getting them flashlights and so on media move about in the night. That is the situation. So far, we are holding and managing the situation. Ghana Health Service and so it's doing a yeoman's job there, moving from evacuation center to the other, and then giving them healthcare issues. And so that is it. And individual organizations, NGOs, corporate entities are donating to support the poor. This is the situation as of now.
Someone listening from Accra or in Accra says, "Oh, Mansa Musa, thank you very much. The guy is doing very well. It's not easy for him, but he's doing very well." So that will be Boa Baso. He continued to say that it's not easy to get a government spokesperson or official to speak in Ghana, let alone speak somewhere with you in London, Mansa. So someone is really happy with your participation. Let's go on. Would you say that?
It's a service to southern country.
All right. Would you say that as we are now, what is going on, the preparation perhaps was okay, but the resources, things you need, the monies, you say you send your budget every year. Surely, maybe you didn't anticipate this particular problem, even though it's man-made. As for the blame, we'll leave it for another time. But in terms of monies, do you know your bosses, your top, between your top executives and the government, have you been allocated enough money even now?
Well, even now, yes, there's commitment there, funds to be released to us. But as the situation started getting a bit difficult, DRA itself has made a commitment of initial 10 million Ghana cedis, and then additional 10 million Ghana cedis is going to be added, and they are using it to procuring relief to support the affected victims. Government itself is also releasing money. We are getting relief items and augmenting the relief supply that BRA is adding and what we NADMO already have. Because the Ministry of Finance has given us assurance that is the budget you may not get all. In case there's a contingent situation like what we have, emergency or contingent funding support will be given to NADMO, and we are at that point, and we are getting that support.
A disaster of such magnitude, what the figures you are mentioning, I am calculating here in terms of dollar, and it will be about $1 million here, $2 million there. Honestly, this is not, it's peanuts. It's not adequate at all, considering that a number of people will have to be moved, that is immediately, how they are, they are fed, they are, medicine, everything. Then, obviously, going forward, a lot of houses will have to be built. A lot of structures will have to be repaired where they should be repaired. A lot of dredging will have to be made within the water, the water bodies, or the how do I say it? Within the water depth itself. I mean, the river ways it needs to be dredged. All these things will cost money. We are looking, if nothing, that problem alone, roughly about $2 billion to actually make sure that, one, it will not happen again, and two, people will be resettled. What you are hearing, or is it that we are talking about some few millions of cedis here, and when everything is quiet, everybody goes away? Or you've been assured that the area will be properly sorted out, looked after properly. Some are suggesting that these people have to be housed somewhere. What do you make of that suggestion that some of them should be taken to this Eglemi housing, those units, getting ready for them to live temporarily? What do you make of that suggestion?
Well, for the record, interministerial committee has been set up by government, and so we are getting the cabinet attention as of now. The interministerial committee headed by the chief of staff, and their focus is to be on relief. One, fifth, two, relief, and three, rehabilitation. And so the okay earlier, whether houses must be broken down and then rebuilt and all that, will fall under rehabilitation. Musa, Oko area Hona, a then she says, you might submerged underwater. Then she only if you are in the next 3 days or 1 month. Going into that building, no structural engineer will advise there immediately. There ought to be a thorough structural integrity test.
Sure.
And Sana will be the Sakumua. And yes, so now you're pulling it down, we pull it down.
Sure.
Because their classroom blocks are higher submerged underwater. And this is it is a risky something.
Sure.
And there will be structural integrity tests of all the buildings. And the rehabilitation angle will take care of that. And meaning say, because of that, the government is going to devote a bigger money to that. These are the initial commitments. The BRA is doing and NATO and government are doing. But the interministerial committee will be giving cabinet updates and then what needs to be done, advising on what to be done. And to assure that will then get us the needed resources in terms of finance and then other material relief support. And then after the situation, the rehabilitation angle will take care of that. Now let's come to the second aspect, the suggestion. If there's nothing wrong with that, if there's a structure somewhere at that place for their safety and comfort, it's very important. If that suggestion, the government, away, there is a laudable suggestion, and the people should be moved there. They're not moved there. We are ready to move the people there for their safety and comfort. But that will be dependent on the decision by government. If government says move the people there, we are ready and willing to do so ASAP.
Brilliant. So all in all, you spoke about interministerial. I think they should organize going forward what should be done and the rest. But the proper investigation, Mansa Musa wouldn't say it should be interministerial. It should be a retired judge, a retired proper policeman, a retired engineer, scientists, those people, to look into what really, brought about this. Because like I said, if the dam got, disturbed, or let's say the integrity of the dam became, how do we call it? Okay, thank you. If the dam, fell apart because there was so much water, then there would have been serious consequences. Now, in order to stop the integrity of the dam being, somehow going dysfunctional, or the integrity of the dam being affected by too much water behind it, we needed to, release some water. Now, this is where a proper investigation, because this cannot be said to be an accident. This is an incident which should have been prevented. So for me, I am asking, Mr. Isi Ahuman out of Ombium, but I want to know that in view of what has gone on, isn't it better for us to have proper investigation into all this instead of ministerial group to look at, how going forward? Mr. Isi, what is my question? I kept talking because I know Mr. Isi's listen has dropped. He keeps freezing. He's doing his best, really. As we speak, it has frozen again. Mr. Isi, what do you mean, cafe? Hello, George. George, what do you mean, car?
Hello?
Yeah, George, what do you mean, car?
I'm a talker.
And I may come into me with a team question. What team question?
Mansa.
Okay, the American say, sir, interministerial, Martino, is okay going forward to do, all this budgeting, the medicines, the medical thing, the school, everything fine. But a proper investigation should be instituted by a retired judge, a retired senior policeman, a retired scientist or engineer to look at how this preventable incident has rather been, caused, it has been how the VRA managed to get this wrong. I mean, get things wrong. Either it's the VRA or people, other institutions. Where a proper investigation needs to be conducted. What do you say to that?
Well, many problem, but I don't understand. Also, a preventable situation. I don't get it. Say the houses wouldn't have submerged, or the communities that
no. Let me explain. Let me explain this.
Is that
you see, no. If it's an accident, if the integrity of the dam had been affected because there's too much water behind it, and there was accident, it's different. But when you plan, in UK here, when we do things, when I used to work at, construction and mechanical side, you say planned maintenance. Planned maintenance could be anything. It's something that, sometimes we involve shutting down this, shutting down that, this. The planned maintenance, before you do it, those who depend on whatever equipment you are trying to maintain, you have to provide adequate substitution. Adequate. Because that is what we call planned maintenance. It's not accident. So I see this village as planned maintenance. And they should know by their own simulation that billions of waters is going to drown everywhere, get people's livelihood affected. So in that respect, now it has come as a surprise, it has come as though it looks like accident. It isn't. So there should be proper investigation. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Society was here and if the investigation will help us to advance our cause and then know that no problem with that. But as to say, maybe a false finding in Romano, well, people must take responsibility for their actions. Who are involved in this whole thing, the rate of rise or the rate of fill of the Akosombo Dam is dependent on the quantum of water air back dam.
Sure.
And up north, Burkina, Mali, and those things are feeding into the black and white folder. They have effect on the level of fill of the Akosombo Dam. The more the rain is heavy up there, the more the rise in the Akosombo Dam. And to protect the structural integrity, dam, the highest point is, I think, 278 meters or so. It is do about 273 and caution is there, red light is there. They need to begin to spill it. And no normal, but the effect downstream, and there are some other things and also sometimes I worry, but also because people don't believe. For instance, the dredging of some of the estuaries.
Yeah.
Caught in Ghana. Actually, we need to dredge. It's plugged into the village. No, because they think oil and assets when there's a cross border. And we are building a democratic society. Sometimes you have to allow the rule of law to work. But if committees of retired judges will go in to investigate, to know why we got it wrong, and the way to rectify it going forward, and then I'm all for it. But if it's investigation for false finding and to punish people, well, I don't think that should be the point.
Mr. Easy, whether it is fault finding to correct things, and if it is proving that there has been negligence, of course, people will have to pay with whatever the law demands. But the point I'm trying to raise here is that, you see, when it comes to you, it's very good. I'm happy you mentioned dredging. When it comes to dredging, clearing waterways, the whole world over, look, what happened in Libya, people are saying that if Gaddafi was alive, that wouldn't happen because everything was being managed and maintained. A lot of monies were being pumped into such areas. Now that only one Libya, and okay, that is another story. But what we are saying is that if it is found that there's been, you see, negligence doesn't necessarily mean Serbia and but when you are paid heavily to manage certain things for the benefit of people, when you get it wrong, some sort of answers will have to come from you. That is what we're going for. Like you are saying, we are practicing now. So, even finding out, not to just persecute, but finding out to make sure, say, people will have to answer for maybe their, I don't say incompetence, but dysfunctional sort of activities near that, it's also very, very necessary. We don't have to take it lightly because sabi ye titi ye ben simuni ye kasa kesiemu ye fie floody any other de no inclusive no ye form abrochire ha inclusive no there as say important as the prime minister. Now say me yare baby am e me question machines I didn't question the same machines in na prime minister the same machine e question because I've paid my taxes. That's the way we have to go moving forward. We shouldn't treat citizens as though after you practice democracy, that's what I mean. And I know so what I say. They are making saying there should be proper investigation to find out if it is found out that look along the chain of command and I said the chain of activities, NADBO, fire service, water supply for say. I mean, you got to correct it. Someone got to answer, and that is how I boo my. Anything abroad for the air cost it's not right. We should also try to yembu mine. Not between you and me, yen jai. Oh, menina co school, menina class, sorry. Oh, near you lawyers, there or law school. Yet it's had any or my mine, anything that it was ano. I'm saying me brabu too much, but again I walk alpha way.
No problem. My dear, in the advancement of our nation, I'm all out for it. Something about my lesson, but you see, I was inquiring ABC, but you see, and take that decision because no near the next year also that decision on behalf of the team carrying out that, and I need to pay the price or answer to that. Why not? That's the way to build any develop better society. And see, I'm all out for it. Whatever am I a society in the advance world, these things are there. Somebody cry because of this village and the downstream cry, will be better now resign for it in the United Kingdom, in the US. It happens. Then I'm not objecting to that. The I build a good society to the benefit of all. I'm all out for it.
Hey, reporter Menya according to Mr. Blackwell Kujato, the MP for the area, one of the areas. Or say some soldiers who were helping flood victims cross the river with their what you call dinghy or with small boats and the rest. Those soldiers have been withdrawn. Do you know anything about this?
Yes, they are there. They didn't go. They've not been withdrawn. There was a move, but they've not been withdrawn. They are there.
So there was a move in what respect that they were going to be withdrawn and later the decision rescinded or what?
Yeah, we got that. You said there was the move there. It's likely they were going to be moved out, but that has been rescinded, and they are there helping the people. Most times, that Navy boat, and no they may cross from one point to the other, have been in their boat several times. So, yes, they are still there helping the ordinary people, the citizens of their communities and so
So does this prove the ad hoc or do as you go practices or attitude that things are not well structured? Would you accept that this shows that even within the organizations, things are not, the activities, processes or procedures are not well structured, and that it's like do as you go. Matra makwe. We learn on the job. Is that what is happening?
So no, there's a structured team. Coordination is solid. We have an emergency operations center where we are directing everything. In disaster incident command center, where we are directing everything in a structured manner. And yes, the Army, the Navy, the ambulance service, Ghana Health Service, all of us are being properly coordinated from the emergency operations center. And the district assembly, district chief executives are all an integral part of the whole execution process. It is a well-structured way of managing the situation. So I wouldn't say it is an ad hoc matter. No, it is a well-structured emergency response standard operation processes, SOPs that we are using.
So, getting to the embers or the last bit of our conversation, which I will say I'm really grateful for your time. What is actually going on? Have you put up any temporary structures for people? Have you? How many schools or community centers are full by now? And how many people are really, really in desperate situation? They can't go to their homes and they don't have anywhere to stay. How many of them now?
Yes, thank you. Menoka say there's a move to build a temporal evacuation center in the one of the major communities, I think in the Mefe or Bator area, where people will be moved in. I understand it's going to take a huge number. As we speak, I told you from the beginning that we have about 20 places where we have people, varied numbers, 400, 450, 500, 37, 120, 250 people. And see, we are looking at about 10, 12,000 people directly benefiting from this evacuation centers or safe havens support. There are others who have moved to integrate to the families and friends on safer grounds. And some, if they move outside of the catchment area of the incident. See, that is the situation. But we are looking at 12,000 and north of 12,000 people who are directly benefiting from the safe havens that we've identified.
And those who are so far not benefiting or not in possession or in, so far, the number of people who are still desperately in need of help, that you know?
No, where everybody that, we say island people around almost so I affected, then we will deploy a team to that place to go and bring them to the safe havens that have space. And then integrated with families, no, with the help of the unit committee chairman, the assembly members, opinion leaders, and we go to support them. Because remember, also the CA has been inundated by floods. The farm has been submerged, and on the livelihood is gone, and also you're affected. So we need to support such people. But they've been integrated with families and friends. We reach out to them and give them the support that we can, but with the help of the assemblymen, community, opinion leaders, and unit committee chairman.
In the Volta region itself, there is this occurrence. The likelihood of water engulfing locals and localities is very real. I've just seen a clip of, I think, a helicopter flying over Akita areas, and almost the whole place is almost submerged. What is your NADMO's, what do we call it, response to this? These are, I would say, natural disasters, and it's been ongoing year after year. What is your response, or what have you suggested to government to carry out so that when these things happen, at least, people will know that they are being cared for by the larger state, if I can say it like that.
Yeah, the recommendation that is gone forward, which not more corroborated, you completed the Cater Sea Defense project all the way. Oh my God, baby! So we said, I'm going to complete sea defense project because baby, oh my God, baby, a car, oh my God, and so no arising, if you see baby, oh my God, then. The spillover effect in now places now, so much inundated year after year. It's true. About 3 years running now, we've been experiencing challenges that you deploy team, especially our voter regional team. In fact, they are found wanted, and so it's a major structural work. Ministry of Works and Housing, so it's at a governmental level. But what we all support is that. Then they have completed the Qatar Sea Defense stretch. It will help. Then, I know that people of Qatar ASO are attached traditionally to the area. And when you talk about relocation, they don't buy into that. But that is an alternative. If we have to relocate them because of the exposure to a year, I think it's about time we look at that. But if we can build and complete the sea defense wall, it will help in a great way to lower the challenges that are facing with the high rise of the seawater taking over the community. So, completion of the sea defense wall is a key thing. If it's and they don't need to be relocated. But then they cannot continue to be undergoing difficult situation. If it were relocated to or more, that why we must engage the chiefs and elders of the community to know that this is the alternative way for your own safety.
NFM Radio.
And yes, that's the way we push. That more always support the issue of completing the sea defense wall, the sea defense wall.
Obviously, Musa said before even this spillage or this Volta Dam problem started, I'll say, Mansa Musa, please ask him. What are your yearly budget? For instance, before this thing happened, my yearly budget is saying, and now this year budget I somebody here with money is saying.
My budget from my finance director. I cannot be speculating on a major platform like yours. But sometimes we have challenges. Whatever budget we set, I know that sometimes it is in excess of 50 million Ghana cedis sometimes. And sometimes we get 20% or so of that.
So hang on. In a country that everything has to be imported, you're saying that you send a budget for, let's say, $5 million and you get 20% of that $5 million. And really, that wouldn't make you sufficient.
I mentioned sometimes 50, 55 million and sometimes about 120.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And usually you get about 20% of it. Yes. That means you can never be adequate, and that won't be sufficient for your activities. Is that not it?
I told you, NADMO is one of the under-resourced agencies in the country, a disaster response agency. Budget, to be honest with you, we need more room for improvement. We need more room.
Have you been bold, not you personally, but not more people being bold, at least these days, to speak such words on Ghanaian media? Have you been outspoken enough? Not you personally, but your group. Have your people been able to tell Ghanaians that, hey,
yes.
And so hey?
Every media person knows that. Every media person speaks about it. They become advocates for NADMO. We speak about it. They also support it and in speaking about it. And I told you that the Ministry of Finance has assured us that what we take, when there's contingency and we need contingent support, they will be there for us. So that is the situation. But our main budget, we hardly get all of them. We hardly get to all of them. Unfortunately, per Act 927 of 2016, a part of the common fund, about 3% is to be paid into the disaster fund, and so we can use that to do part of our work before our budget support also comes to augment that. So that is what is being helping small. Yes.
I like the way you put it, the street language, helping small. I like it. You as a director, you should know how many your subordinates, how many people work directly under you or for you, and subsidiaries. How many people make your group NADMO? In a rough figure.
NADMO has about 7,000 employees across the country.
I see. And at the moment, what issues are you covering? The north-south town area, the Kita district. Where again? I learned there was another issue up north, upper east somewhere. Tell us roughly, apart from, let's say, Apiati, that one is being sorted. Where is not more stretched? Where are your tentacles as we speak? Mr. Isi's phone has frozen again. We are coming to actually the end of the conversation.
Across the country, I would say, every year supporters. It's an annual thing that we do.
Yeah.
And so anytime there's going to be the spillage of Bagby Dam, we go.
By the end of the show, breaky. Start again. How stretched are you? This year, where have you been taken to? I mean, activities, no, I take Mutu.
Oh, you have to be to everywhere. We know that almost walk through the street, almost so raise issues. We both the spinning area, the crash area. Our main issues: rain-fed flooding in Accra, in Kumasi, in Takoradi, and everywhere where there is flooding. We are there to support. We engage also in earthquake disaster sensitization and others. Earthquake disaster. Simulation exercise now in readiness for earthquake response. Even though some people say it's not likely there's going to be earthquake and so that's the doubting. But we prepare ourselves for those response as well. Fire. We work in partnership with fire service. They provide the fleet rule, but we as a coordinating agency work in partnership with fire service to go for fire response. There's man-made disaster unit at the NADMO headquarters, and that also engages in road accidents and so we work in partnership with road safety and others. NADMO is all over the place, and so yes, after PSP, we partner the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority for inspections and others. These are safety issues. We partner MPA we move with them to ensure that the safety protocols in the discharge of gas and gasoline and coal is being adhered to. So NADMO is on the ground doing its work.
And you teach people about risk assessments and those advices. But I mean, Musa, okay, let me tell you, how many tents or temporary housing, or storage system now? How much do you have those things? The temporary housing equipment or tent and the rest?
Yes, your tent, maybe we raised some tents. I think about 50 or so. We raised tents.
No. Stop. Mister, stop. Apiati, you raised 50 or so. I'm going to think about 500 to 1,000 units. Now, 50 years, and that's just a moon near you. You are being generous. You are being generous.
In those resources.
I'm
being generous. I'm being conservative. I'm being conservative.
I'm not making. You are being generous. Listen, let me give you this example. Oh, I know maybe you have lived in Europe before, and these days Ghana is there. You see, on construction sites, we have this unit they call porter cabin. Here you say porter cabin is portable cabins. For the offices and other units for, let's say, canteen, for washroom, changing of clothes and those things. These porter cabins, they are made in several sizes and in so many categories, right? I will tell you that about $5 million worth of that imported, and they are like flat. They are packed in flat, or they are dismantled and packed. They are easy to plumb. They are easy to wire electricity, connect water, all those things. You can make it into dormitories. You can make them into, let's say rooms, big rooms for children under a certain age, big rooms for mothers or women of a certain age, big rooms for men of a certain age. You can make all this. You get this one $5 million as you can ebu organa. You just ask a year the trial. And can we move here amount for almost who say carpenters and plumbers and electricians, side way or the energy club free or move your fight. I mean, it's temporary. Whenever the situation is solved, you dismantle everything and keep it at the local, maybe district assembly or somewhere. You keep it there, you keep there. Every district, Benyan. These are the things that we say, disaster control. Yeah, when your man say, you're going 50 cents for her, yeah, ma gari kakra ha, yeah, chiche bro, any busy. Any chala mama yanko yenim kakra o.
You're right, Mansa Musa. Isn't I'm catching us about resource. I was happy you were happy on the resource angle. You have brought this. We have a long way to go. There can I am. Therefore, for BBS in and not more bani a resistance to field normal. People see there you are eager to help, and they even come to voluntarily to support.
Yes.
But help us become our advocate so we can get the needed support across the globe.
I tell you, I've given you this advice, this knowledge for free. Tell your people, look, in the end, we got to do things. And you find granted, we take it for granted in Abrochi. I am a nipa who tono kakra relatively, no. Yet ye ni bi intimate, we say, even $5 million from our Canada, $5 million, it will buy you those things, and they are flat packed. A bar, it is easily assembled. You erect it, you plumb it, and there is a special tank comes with it, or if you have to dig the ground temporarily to accommodate human waste and the rest, it's all there. You stand this thing on a specific metal stilts, and you weed the area nicely to prevent what we call it rats and mice, which will attract snakes and the rest. So all this, you see, risk assessment. You must be yes, na fe yetino efuru dwene na yegu ha na yemfa nyewe. Enso bi nimsa me babu kromo sesia na dwon kra me nya bi nye. Me kan kra obi antie. But I'm telling you, I'm advised. I don't only criticize. I'm telling you, write it down. Say that Mansa Musa said this. They should explore. If you go on the internet, you see these units I'm talking about, and they come in sizes. They are flat packed. You load them onto big lorries. You go there. You have the artisans to assemble them. Within a day or two, electricity will be a home. About 400 people here, 300 people there, 500 people there. Oba who say, anytime Oba say, look, there is going to be a problem. We need to move you people. No, Oba say at least if you some people even know that they are going to a better place more than what they have, better than what they have. Who wouldn't like this? For what is worth, you are doing your best, but it's not enough. And at the same time, it isn't your fault as well. You are the least resource group in the country. I tell you, the chefs, the people feeding the children too tell you the same thing. Other people too say the same. Listen, Mr. Easy, and thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Not many government organization workers are now, civil servants are brave or, they are, say, almost I could dress a yambran mechanic cray, my mom for tea, say, be here, boy, be a boy. Yet there was a baby.
Yo, Mansa, not most of our international platform. Last one, America. And also, we have advocates about it. In fact, me join that one thing I mean, I'm a rare for, and it say,
NFM Radio.
Disaster management or response agents, the staff there do not have risk allowance. I repeat, the staff there do not have any risk allowance for them.
So because we free. You see the point? I mean, to us you. Even though you are working, it's a job, you get paid. But the nature of the job states that, look, you should be given certain incentives. You see, the police in London will tell you, or police everywhere will tell you that when there is any incident, when people are running away from the incident, they are running to the incident. So for that matter, they need special compensation. And that same goes to you. When there's a problem, while people should be running from the problem, you guys are going in there. So why not look after you properly? Look, I don't want to politicize this conversation, but they should be giving proper allowances, looked after properly, the equipment. Look, I heard that even the high visibility vest, I say amount for shishekra. Now, enshada nyadi kwete bi ni ho, gloves ni ho, buoyant by robbers near the idea. With the fence and they are the simple paracetamol and bandages. One of those common things are say obi pra odi bef ebe mia chronosome to stop the blood flow in here. These are simple, ye to say the African say bibia no ye train 200 years and some a democracy no ama ho kwan. It's a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But we need to improve. Maybe our platform here at the beginning for us to get the sensitization. We need to do advocacy for the support of our emergency organization. If you get information about FEMA, if you get information about the Russia emergency, even the Gambia emergency organization. I have a friend in Liberia. Even Liberia, their emergency response, their co-workshops, when we meet and we interact. This is, in fact, we have a long way to go. I know as we push, with some of you helping, others will get the ear of the government to be able to improve upon the response budget. Very, very important.
Anyway, so you too, in case you need a recording of this, we'll call NFM Radio Facebook. It's on the face. So the Facebook, I don't need to send you any recording. Just the Facebook now, no cost what. Many on your first, your friend saying conversation for tonight. So everything we have spoken is there. You can show it to your bosses. Let them know that, that you see when it comes to. When I worked at the early 2000s, 90s and the 2000s, we had, where the...
Your vehicle, who not more vehicle, you yourself, you'll be angry. Unfortunately, look,
I remember early 2000s. You see where there is a West Ham Stadium where they had the Olympics. Me, my company, we were the first to start digging. It was construction site. The motto we had on safety is that zero accident. That was the motto. Zero accident. When it comes to health and safety, there is no price. There's no price on or cost on safety.
Yeah.
That is the idea. Say, when you want people to live in relative safety, you got to spend. And when you are spending, but the people in charge are not doing well, then you kick their asses. That one there will be a better say, when you mess up with health and safety, we are wine, we bet you. Sir, Subani Nesi, Mr. Easy, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Have a good weekend too. Cheers. Bye bye.
Thank you, Mansa Musa. Thank you, Mansa.
NFM Radio.
Greetings from Godfather is listening. Greetings, Godfather.
Del 79 con la mejor música del mundo.
Ojaye! Ojaye!
right, and Makoliwa, you are listening to Mansa Musa, and the time is 10 minutes, it's 8 o'clock here in the UK. It will be 10 minutes to 7 in Ghana. And like I said, very soon, end of October, the time, the clock will move backwards, and so it will be the same time as the Greenwich Mean Time. So take note. Anyway, I've just had a conversation, a brilliant conversation with NADMO representative. NADMO is a national disaster management organization, something like that. So NADMO. And Mr. EC was very, straightforward. He said NADMO, as far as he as a director is concerned, is the most under-resourced public institution in Ghana. And if you imagine that their job is to provide relief, safety, and care to people when there is either a natural or man-made disaster, that means that's where we are. BBI Pinso. Everything is on the Pinso. Now, though, let me see if I can get. All right, thank you. Let me see if I can get the women's organizer? Is it women organizer or women's organizer anyway? For NPP UK, Madam Patricia Echa Boachi, popularly known as Dachi Hima. I want to try and see if I can get her here to come and respond or tell us how the election, things are happening. Of course, we know of the public utterances and the public discourse about the NPP, Ghana NPP flag bearer elections. And that's the reason why I want to speak to her because I know very soon she will travel to Ghana, one of those, to go and vote. No matter what it is always very important to know that Ghana has to be governed by either of those two parties. Today being Sunday, I will not be too much, I won't last too much. If she comes, then we'll talk. If she doesn't, then I will finish very soon. And tomorrow, all being well, I will have the organizer for the NPP, organizer for the NDC here in the studio, and management plan to give them a showdown by taking them away from the radio section to the TV section. So, let me see if I can get that Chihima to come and discuss issues with us. Whilst, we wait, let me go for one or two adverts. Let's see.
For Sasadia, Yenam Top Connect so Emani Sika de Bagana if we yasia fanenina yenchia capre. Ane, aye free. Top Connect a Masika money I am recra. Yehuhiane Sauber download with Top Connect app no our Play Store. Diama wa Android phone. And as we use iPhone so or Apple Store na download the Top Connect. Aye simple cra. Top Connect wa member radio numsu wa Europe, North America and Asia. Woman wo dofu sika fa Top Connect so aye na emre na mawa hoto swonso sesede sika manye di foforo kra any Top Connect so we yan chechemu bia for Top Connect our +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe Top Connect our Belfont interfidie nyina so Top Connect Fesika mane wadofo asumdiem a wontia kapre Top Connect yenso ye dienie
the Bank of Ghana committing to that project?
I do have the figure of funds.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I don't have the full complement of the figures at this moment.
Mr. Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the balance book of every organization. You should have that figure of head. How much are you committing to your head office building? We know it is $250 million. Can you confirm that? The Bank of Ghana committing to that project?
I don't have the figure of answer.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I don't have the full complement of the figures at this moment.
Mr. Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the balance book of every organization. You should have that figure of head. How much are you committing to your head office building? We know it is $250 million. Can you confirm that?
What's name wacha? Manage 2 years. Says here the fear be 2 years. I want them. What's name? What's name 2 years? We are all 2 years account. Says here no. Sir, dan someone has said per se. Uped single roomer. Says here no unkuta 600. Unkuta 500. Unkuta 700, 800. Unya dying. Says here agent for age 100 CDs for viewing fee, and I say 80 Ghana for viewing fee, just showing you the room. Says here if you're for beer, the Omodayam agent for Uchia 9,600, also Uchia agent 900, 600, 900 and almost 1,000 CDs. Why? Says here you to the end day. Why? Like why? What? Like why? Hey, like it's serious. Say, Matsna demo 2 years. I'm paying 8,000. Now I'm supposed to pay 9,600. And you're taking the 2 years. You take 1 year and put. Because you see, me engine 6 months in 1 year. Say there we hear Juma me feara. Ube boa no busumi pay a the amount. Say 600 or say 700. You have to eat only small one pay because a whole month no pay. And si back on one be den. Ume hwe bibi yo. Ume hwe bibi yo wo man mu ampeni for mon kan wan same hwe na youth for ne ye bre na ye kunkum ye anyhow. A direct inti ye be dimponti no. Ube komo ye kun. Bobe koma ye kunti youth no nti ye bra no muhu edan sem kunye adai how Ghana ye ble papa adai and the feara walk in encourage very me patro me pedai mod be because who agent viewing fees or do cut set them or bet you 80 CDs and now say 100 CDs and then dan suma dying who got 600 oh single room name or do 2 years 600 CDs 2 years because of that into the ultimate data or no person or 2 now or do a for a show on 1 600 1 500 now they would turn into a person who 2 years at the moon can wash my and say youth in the year bread. Yeah, and you better to a bone, yeah, so you to a back. I made your influence in Crawford.
Right, so the young man is already obey influencing in Crawford. I wonder where that young lady is and how she's faring. But I would suppose she's not faring well at all. Mansa Musa, I'm here waiting for a response from the NPP women organizer, but none is coming. I think we may have to all call it a day. Today being Sunday.
For an African to visit a European nation, an ordinary African, to visit a European nation is like, let me give you an example my teacher used to use. It's like trying to milk an elephant because of the visa process. However, for a European to visit an African nation, most of our nations, it is like a walk on the beach. It's like going to have a cup of tea. But then that is not the problem. The tragedy is that now for an African to visit a fellow African within the African Union, the visa restrictions in many of our nations, among us, between our brothers and sisters, is like trying to brush the teeth of a crocodile. They came, divided us, and they have taught us to keep each other from each other. Then they're mingling with each other and making money and growing, but they have taught us to hate each other. But for us to really enjoy the true economic benefits of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, we need to behave like the Europeans and allow for the free movement of people and trade. To this end, in our contribution to this continental aspiration, Kenya is committed to progressively, and we are moving very fast by the end of this year, to abolish visas to citizens from African Union member states to make it easier to invest and do business in Kenya and across the continent. We are going to open the borders of Kenya. We do not fear our fellow Africans. Come, travel to Kenya. Live, do business in Kenya. Trade, make money in Kenya. And we hope we'll get reciprocity with the rest of you. Let us open our continent so that we can make money and live together. Let us remove the shackles of colonialism that are still embedded in our heads and be able to move forward.
Small, intellectually, politically, and economically insignificant Africa. But is that really true? Now, here are the facts. Africa has a total area space larger than all of Europe, China, and the United States of America combined. Yes, it is 3 times the area of China, 3 times the area of Europe, 3 times the area of the United States of America, meaning you can transplant China, Europe, and United States, and several other countries on the Africa continent, and they will fit neatly. Africa is 30.5 million square kilometers and a youthful population of 1.3 billion inhabitants. China is 9.6 million square kilometers and 1.4 billion inhabitants. India has a total space of 3.3 million square kilometers and 1.4 billion inhabitants. Now, yet, Africa is projected as overpopulated, and pressure mounts on Africans and their leaders to depopulate. Why? Why? Now, please note, Africa is home to 60% of the world's arable land, 90% of raw material reserve, 40% of gold reserve, 33% of diamond reserve, 95% of platinum reserve.
Right. So Africa is rich. Africa is not poor, but there's the Africans who are poor, as was said by the Osajifu. Maybe so, no. Anyway, you are listening to Mansa Musa, Fire Will Burn You. See, we will campaign against all the MPs endorsing and campaigning for Baumia. Campaign team of Canada Japan. Anyway, so according to the story, it said Canada Japan campaign manager Kwame Ousu pledged to campaign against MPs supporting Dr. Baumia and announced plans to create a list of NPP Ashanti MPs to be removed. It reads, and I'll quote, he said, we would assist in the removal of many NPP Ashanti MPs. We will assist in the removal of many MPs. Okay. Kennedy Japan does not campaign solely for himself. He travels the country advocating for others. I for one will work to have them removed. Politics is a form of worship. I will assist in their removal. I will make the list of MPs to be removed. And we will make sure that we will elect the people who are the bad apples out of the system. Kwame Owusu also stated that no selection of running mate for Kennedy Japan has been made if he wins the NPP presidential primaries on November 4th. He did, however, point out that Kennedy Japan will only consider competence when selecting his running mate, not ethnicity. And so, to those of you campaigning for Kennedy Japan, those of you who want Kennedy Japan to be president, his team is saying that they will campaign against MPs who are supporting Bawumia. Now we, yo, Obi can also be the fancy here. The same story, Kennedy Japan story here. He said, I gave him a pickup. Kennedy Japan reacts to alleged warning by Anna. Into no Kennedy Japan or Chawadi, let's crossing the path. And so by making sure that the whole world will know about it. Kennedy Japan give you a gift and later you don't support him, then the whole world must know. New Patriotic Party flag bearer Hope for Kennedy Japan has rejected media reports that he was warned by the overlord of Dabong. The overlord of Dabong. Okay, let me connect this gentleman. Basununa ending komo kakrande missing minche. And there is Sunday after all. Now share and some now APA fee Kennedy Japan outfit now. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, say. The women organizer for the MPP, my friend, 1 week in your show, beba. A do on why I'm aware Dodge. Kwesi, good evening. Hello, Kwesi. Oh, sorry. Okay. Kwesi, if you want to call again, you called and the phone dropped or for some reason you cut off. So if you want to call again, I'm here. Anyway. So okay, so it said Yana okay. Kennedy Japan has rejected media reports that he was warned by the overlord of Dabong Kingdom, Yana Abukari Mahama, to desist. Hello, Kwesi.
Yes, Mansa, Musa.
Good evening. Yeah, Akwaba.
Good evening, Akwaba. Me take a canam say while running up with the Nagmo boss, no.
Yeah.
Is it AC?
Georgia EC, yeah. Georgia EC.
Okay. Now, can MPP for so much so I think 2 weeks time is it November 4th for more presidential primaries, you know. And the matters are rising. Kennedy Japan team say they will be asking for the removal of some MPP Ashanti MPs. Hear them?
Yes.
Well, we are more internally, but Master Musa, in a broader sense, no. We say MPP MPs, no. Ghana crack.
Is that Kennedy Japan Kamubi? I don't know your MP.
Oh, Kamubi, yes. We say most often, no. Say it should be by Parliament. Now, yes, the decisions be not do. Most often, no. Now, the anything could go NDC MPs, no so. Fair enough. But if you say Parliament, one more a standing orders name rules somebody man. If you how you need like 2 tests of Parliament. 2 tests, so NDC full now vote here, you won't get it. But look at issues be like kind of simple, sir. Tax
yeah, 11
yes. One kasa ma buying a kufra buying and bad policies, bad economic policies. We create hardships in the country. We fake a crana. Of fruit dinner or Nippon in Bobono de Kakakotuma, and you cram some quackages. Now, a benefit in MPs now more parliament now, more constituency, and more bread direct from these bad policies of the MPP, Kufuadoni Baumia, Abayan. No more supporters are there. It is sometimes not too want to yes, NDC MPs they also have a responsibility to fight mistakes. But they said the American share Parliament standing orders rules sometimes someone can go as far as they will need the support of the opposition. Party in government in MPs. But they will tell them point blank. Mansa the removal of a suggested removal of Kenupuriata. Should the MPP for MPCA? And this is the proposal. No, they were fighting it. At the same time, normally some person at the same time, MPP, MPC, Kenupuriata. And this is the proposal, but the Yenfa Kwangusia, Musa, proposal on the day. Musa, sometimes it's yes. Open the funny figure, we look at so figure. Process is in a figure, no. Does it matter? Does the process matter? When we recently the recklessness of the Bank of Ghana government, within 2 years, we could try 80 billion cedis. Okay, within 2 years, we try 80 billion cedis. We share and branding and amount yes, yes, as a Bank of Ghana government, as a government, we do the you can do it for him, for the government. But in rather, yes, you over to make only 5% of the previous year's total revenue as a country. Now within 2 years, in fact, 1 year we have 45 billion. Another year we have 25 billion. Within 2 years, 80 billion. Master, we say within 2022, between middle of 2022 and 2023, we see the falling sharply. See the falling sharply. In activities are Bank of Ghana Governor Addison. A Kufra buy or Tam Kukusiho, and who push me to say a fence and can for one friends of Koliko who push me. Aha, no, I comprehensive blame, no, I'm machine and this you can make Kufra. Na papa is sad that say economy no. But be so far. Our World Bank said the activities of this Bank of Ghana, Kenufurata, Bawumiani, pushing 850,000 Ghanaians below the poverty line. Now, minority MPs na NDC MPs in parliament you say papa na de oye here. If you have to find a way of getting him out because Akufo-Addo they said they can why anyone to say mampam. See no evil, hear no evil, talk no evil. On mampini out your memma, we will bring the abu asu. What said that offer a super glue? Atari would be a 2 1. And I'm to see her. Now, minority for take action. Now, I suggest other a minority say, look, won't keep a parliament parliament and we what in I say, as soon as or 3 minutes or 6 months about you die. Master Musa, what's here? Or 6 months of Papa no or ya not wrong. How or 6 months of Musa? You can't I didn't see money now more. As a Baumiane, Akufo-Addo near or 6 months since the parliament who dear mine or 6 months of bush or the parliament who would dear mine. What does in your kind or say, Mamma, NDC MPs, opposition MPs, for proposal be and parliament is a Bank of Ghana governor, no more the will support it. What does in your kind? What does Musa say for 6 months of Musa? You see, Mansa Musa, so MPP are buying Nara from President Akufo-Addo all the way down is a criminal enterprise. It's a criminal enterprise, complete. And Oma Tetsu, Muntebema, I capture all state institutions. I mean, I was even shocked to say, this guy, this you see what was able to even say openly. In fact, me maintain a casano, when I walk, I say, no, or say, they are under resourced. Yes, I 17 years, I'm okay. I am even shocked. I'm even shocked to say when your boss needs to back us and kudos to him. Kudos to him. Kudos to him. Oh, I wish I had listened to him. I wish I had listened to him. Mansa Musa, no clue what the Air Force City will put for about by minister. Every year, the only budget. Ministry, they are their command. The ministry, and the ministry, they are agencies, departments, ministries, with the various ministries. In the budget, you know, agencies, ministries will be a for the various ministries. It is kind of a banner. Agencies will be any idea we come on. Yet, we are agencies need a departments need almost be a friend internally generated funds. One can say it me a digital activities or more and you said district assemblies, you know, local taxes in a digital, I don't know. Only says can normally account the central government bound, almost the developmental projects. Mansa Musa only say Akufo-Addo Bawumia taking over pet. IGF, you know, internal generated funds mean can furata the AED buyer or centralizing. It is a we assembly be now did you see car. In fact, assembly kuma assembly did you use internal generated funds now. I can't say can furata is kind of what you know. Na san sub bread. No nanka say yi bin fa mawo. What and you may have cost into my assemblies going to me any Bibian. What is a local areas now? What is in Kitibian assembly now? A took one proper maintaining a few more and a senior Maniaman Admin. Only not scanning yet. It is sometimes, it is even difficult to blame even the district DCs, MCs, Sometimes it's difficult to blame them. Because can I also generate internally that the Nara and the local government law and the local government law say this assemblies, municipal assemblies, no man can internally generated a year. No more supplementary the central government. The only na kufagu any bawunya can fura to mobile the abadi GBA so kwa sabra in crime. No man maybe NFM. And most of what the Master Musa are making, the one some investigation speak to some of these MMDCs speak to them and see. And most of them can come to the part and sign back. Statutory funds here. To say a consent to MP's common fund thing. I said this year, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. He didn't budget to call a parliament, When if you didn't budget to call parliament, Speaker catch and point blank. So me MPs complaining and say, common fund and you as a budget they approve it for you. They approve it for Kenufurata and Baumiane Kutuado. And so we place canning off. And he a call. And a speaker. Okay, and point blank say they are not going to approve the budget. When you say parliament of Kenufurata. Or you deal with one of the banks, is it Prudential or one of the banks? And of course, this is 2something million. No, Let's accumulating the crowd, meaning none Yama or moon. Now, who do mind basa. Yes!
It's encouraged. I don't know, but
Mansa, Mr. Baby, I work for do so or put treasury bills. I also say, I deny pata.
How do you understand this? Vis-a-vis borrowing from, let's say.
I'll be honest. Me a finance person, so I don't understand most of these things.
It's always difficult because I know people have been saying that borrow from treasury bills I hear Adongo and the rest complain seriously, but I don't know the effect as to how bad it is to borrow from treasury bills. One day, if Adongo will be kind enough to come and speak to me about these days.
Yes. Anyway. Thank you very much. Technical thing. No, explain that's the
whole problem. It's very difficult.
Let's keep pushing. Because it's important. It's important. Yes, to move on your better. It's important to say better. Because every say, start restructuring now no more. I haircut in the name of Yamano. Scanner no pen. Still almost sanka. Now say a Kufuado is pandering to a World Bank. Sir, I am a coin. Not a gun and qualify. Not a young qualified, but he's pandering up to the West, the Americans and the British and the French and the Germans. It's America from a pressure to a IMF. Not a young qualified, not a Musa. Nanke yan qualify. So mu ko ene so 3 billion no mu ko kwaje on so mu ko pe no. Ma avi o mu ko ka kire IMF. Yen fa ni na ma mu bu. at a go. No more say Debbie. I don't know million you won't put the Bama. You think for the boom for Mam, which had Bama in tranches. Moko, into trans one, and Mokona, there some of the year. The monitor in Musampa, Mudiaya. Then we'll give you the remaining tranches. It is some of we need a dear on this guy. Master Musa, who didn't know what this guy can do with him. You don't know what they do with it. You don't know what they do with it. Say Ghana yet to ho, you need $200 million facility if you are American. A component of $43 million component of it, yet the AMA sanitation ministry. So among friend Reggie or Donna and could do a lagoon. Master Musa, Omiji says Cano, Sisi Abnata Paso were dredging. The Master Musa say a day or Donna, you see a day $43 million are dredging the Chihuahua. You weep for your country, no? You weep for it, your country. Some of you are at the crack on my Ghana, the Ayom, a Kufa Baumia, then Kurata. We at the crack on my Ghana, the Ayom. Ah, Papa Penny, which means Diabro. Nemo you Diabro. But I remember a latest year, a tragedy actually in animal voter regulation. Linking up with the Mr. EC as a more kind. Master Musa only said President Kufuor and Yemi APP, just say, only the Ghana thing ain't deep no crew, only the French Ghana for. Master Musa, spillage, na a kind of sample, meet you, any diary, only come all the time. Until they are aware of all these things, sir, and you have to do, sir, in the way. And we are aware all along. It is spillage, almost starting on the 15th of last month, September. On the 15th of September, I started spillage, President Kufuor to come to America on the 11th of October, yeah. You should not say, America, and I'm the chief of staff, a friend, a catcher. Or pretend this is a new
NFM Radio.
Most of them the spillage of a Muda. Yes, I'm not. SPLO. Yes, first time. Now, because of its national security implications, President is aware, whoever is the president, you are aware. A catch-all. And it's a good for you pretend it. No pretending. So you are as if you knew. Who could be American and chief of staff, a friend or catch-all. In any case, Mansa Musa said, President said the one in charge, next in charge. And your vice president. Then vice president, chief of staff, no yes, I did. Only vice in the Dakasa. It should be about the nation, only vice in the Dakasa. Now, so now something needs to be done. Now, it has to go to the chief of staff. Then you advise now, you also link up with the chief of staff. And then the chief of staff also trains on the down. Baumia, with our apology to a union for Baumia, one should be only in Papini. Baumia, one should be only in Papini. Now, Master Musa Saosha, President Kufuor, okoko o watch ya baby one call exactly where as one call directly and disaster kasa how it is and so this is the same Ekufuado no only opposition leader those days under power before 2016 since he talk na akra flade kakra pa na ba ko ni nemu no fam ko free business no mu ni nemu ni nam kanisi eko cycle eko buso kan no ni nemu de ni ki kansa na tasi kire wo mu Mansa Musa papa be president ki o mi se disaster bi asem mo tuni na dia ko site na adnesi bi da o mi so wa bi da the other day that make say in Bribi no enough and a serious accident this year for example road Musa can could give me for 70 a year that time they could enough or for helicopter each you need the scene crime at the scene a pa and the name Brunana pa of a plane or so to quack or you do a Busina sadly any more important that girls Takwa the girls 3 be no more yen. A be national outcry. Ufagwan kamufi. Sata no mo ba be campaign kwa. Unu so ku twemi fi Takwa de. Oko western region obadu twemi o Takwa de ku fufuro so. Ansa no ku bie na no aka. Bibi oho. Takwa de na ayina esi no. Nka wu twemi kwa no ko bi fa ho na ko chia and Quran parents crampo, the can be detailed. Okay. Papa, we are dear friend about the anything. No, Pia. I am say, the main reason of the bar obey a president, he say, over back. No more making sure, say, only the bush of risk. No more real for pintam to review on an enough for what's an enough for the Guna Bam. Nanka, I think say yes. Okohoka election once a now, about 12 months and now. Omo Trabamon, or Momon Trabamon. Also, just say, President Ekufuado, any not buying MPP aban. O come once a man, one shall be better say, O time omukra. I did only be a fuck him, did only be a time. And we are so we need the latest a year what here. Who say, yeah, normal day, a military, a fully could no more use to come in boat nowadays. A distress in perform a way so. And there was a almost more hormones is street for almost trucks in the ability to a party. A boat in I don't shade good attraction. One could be sad and say, order from above that they should pack out.
Unfortunately, this is the reason sometimes when I publish these things, I would love people of high interest to be listening, even engaging. Unfortunately, most of the times, almost whenever I get such important discussions, most discerning people are also too busy. Because I asked him this question and he answered that, yeah, it was true, but now they've been told to stay.
Look at that.
So it's not something that is a lie.
Who in his right senses will do that? No, he says, in receiving. I think it's a move for different cancer communities. In receiving, yes. I mean, what is this? Mansa Musa, will anybody be wrong to say Ekufuado, Ukraine on pay, you know, Will anybody be wrong to say that? Because in Yama all your gates is a particular region, only one won't just. A home choir, your bare registration, was just to put the Kubomat and create AEB, at least a Papazi, also a secessionist, who will create AEB. When you say recently, a Western region, so we will create AEB. Say, a Wagner fool, I will pay for. What kind of nonsense is that? What is this? Shekata a tidal wave. I didn't a 2 pay at level. One more car. Only for home Ponaka for Nico.
All this one we discussed with AEC, and he agreed that there should be the what do we call it, the sea defense.
Defense.
Yeah. The guy spoke very well.
No, he appears to be some honest person. Master Musa, before God and man, I never listened to no conversation. You know. The only the true and say only Mr. EC of Nadu Akasa. Now, Okase, Omusikani, and that is the only player. It's only some making now. Sana Mudi can't discuss it. If we follow na ban Sikana original Busia Obo only at the core of the year. This it is still happening. And Pina Owono a black Jifaguma, she on people south. Mamia a fed who's MPs who are attacking and say, Mamma say, Wakoka say, because MP and vote for the job, MP Putina or your Musa. Okay, maybe I'm going to Fakofa. I said that the one I know, Creno and Pro. And so MPP will dance around it. So what type of governance is all about PR in that dance one. Because you see, say, Master Musa, it may be a way. Who are they to receive Nanameboa?
Yeah.
You see, no, who said you man or more yellow? And what cardinal say the mom? Yes, I'm mom. It is why I'm here, no, a bad jobber. It is on his TV. It's on his
TV.
The
policy he mentioned so far, just say, we are looking at about maximum of say $2 to $3 million, and such a disaster which should cost about $2 billion. Should about $2 billion to reset it, to do everything. No?
Yes.
And he agreed that was very inadequate anyway. But, I'm also, in fact, because you see, sometimes I become really angered in a way that the gurus that are so-called gurus here in this country, when I bring somebody like this, apart from Mr. Amanshia, that is Ambrose, who actually came on the Zoom, you, the other gurus, you are all busy. All of you, I know. All of you were busy, Thanksgiving or something. But this is some discussion I will expect Edwin, Isel, Silvanos, Elijah, those kind of top gurus, to come in and even be, putting their top ends around. Big questions. You won't get them at all. You won't get them. It's a shame.
Going forward, no, I'll see what I can do going forward.
It's a shame because I tried to.
I agree with you because I agree with you because some of these things need to be explained. Look, now this is it is true. A lot of people don't know a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
It's true. Really? With all due respect,
I brought somebody. He wasn't here to be partisan. In fact, I wasn't doing partisan at all. I was asked serious questions. If you check on the Facebook video, he is the first thing I started with. So every question available, I asked him, and he answered them, honestly. He did, and I was expecting some top gurus here, because here now we assume that we know things, and even when we finished, the advice I gave him, technical advice I gave him for free, he was so grateful. I expect our people to be involved, but it's like, I don't know. And now they are doing tax. If you name Jane Jankutin, if you name Kwesi yet hey, Mr. I'm looking at shutting up very soon. Not a single advert. And we are facing, I'm saying it on air, 1,200 a month to pay only the bills. So it's not like even my transport or no, we are not thinking about that. Not a single advert. It's like, put it this way, I have to say this one, Kwesi. It's like when, I don't know, if I say I want to use the word follower, it's like this is a curse. Because the number of hours things are right, things are say in favor of NDC. If I was doing that in favor of MPP, we wouldn't be having problem of thinking to shut down. Oh, they we are my country penny bia 3 times. Penny pa no and ka or kasa last will be can now they saw in papa. We penny pa. So you want me to pull some strings? Okay, who's opening pa? And so I mean, why? Why? If these people are smart, if the people are ignoring me and those things, I don't blame them.
It's okay. Say some other issues will be speaking about.
I understand. I understand. You follow one.
Yes.
Who says if why?
I understand. It is like American. Look, it is true. Say in your P over issues. Nanka also you did not know the trap. But if I know, are there only I said never to Hokwana on Tiasi. Yeah, the politics now in Panagini Basa on Tiasi. You can't blame the person so for Trabana or Trakahana or Traka. You can't blame the person. And so Kaya and Red. Now you see a bossy church and make us say, yes, you've done it, you've done your part. Say, issues to be on in like expect be out means again. Yes, sir, will be our enemy.
This guy is one of the directors, so obviously he knows what he's talking about. And when I mentioned to Necessica Obubosu, the HSA, you are under. I say, Mansa Musa, for the very first beginning, I told you that we are the most under-resourced. I mean, and
I trust the guy and say, can press Mitchell because young dream down young bomb because MMDC is near the crown. It is open, they won't be able to speak to you about it. Yeah. But when you speak to them, behind the scenes, Mansa Musa, they can't do it because the resources are not coming. Resources is so for the parliament and get approved. Can you believe that parliamentarians don't approve budget?
This guy says something. Look, when we present our budget, sometimes we say, maybe 2 million, 5 million, sometimes 100 million. Or see, the most we get is 20% of everything we discuss. 20%. No, I didn't cry any zero. So that's what is happening.
Who presented budget in amount 20%? What are you going to do with it? 20%.
And this,
you can't even
informational. This is informational. It's not like people. I'm making it up. coming from somebody, you know, your people. See, your people should be listening and latching on to this. And I believe him. Apart from Ambrose, man can me boy. It's my publisher here. Me sending messages about 4 times. Facebook, the Zoom link, the actual program, trying to just me prompting Crawford. This guy is on the show. Come and maybe face him, talk to him. Nobody.
Mansa, you let's hold that one there. Let's hold it there. I will find a way of we will find a way of correcting these things. We will find a way of correcting it. And you know, coming back, you know, who is this scar? Who's a religion? Mama, you see where it is. Also, as he said, it created a vortex.
Yes.
Who created vortex? Yes. Ebekuma renaira. Who's idea of this canaya? This is the Diana convoy. We na president for the Kati so they okay. Mansa say any Brazil. And this say ya the koko say a cathedral. And then trustees will be Ghana. Because when Ghana we are trustee, there's a lot of on your shoulders. That is you could be called to account. Never for the dry who using Kofu any only the bush and phone in now one. Not to say no move using Kofu any edible deep one. Edible race car. What's the Bank of Ghana? Governor no. Kufu Baumiane can Furati fishes no cooperative bra. Don't mind them cooperative also cooperative no. But that TV visa, you Kufu no cooperative you. No Bank of Ghana governor at the same. Una cooperative is coming. And so you will be held accountable. And he will be held accountable. At the same will answer. Chief Justice and some nearby said when you do on the Mamma, it's something on the or the who would Obiba, a passe a India also in social or Yamamu social, or no, we will pay now you're admitting to the bar. On penny, one day, one man find Mono, one man certificate was special. Be the idea was saying. So what is that girl being a and I'm a governor? Yes. Asema court, asema kwa to the point to be said. I'll say assistant judge, new judge of Bauche, and you now see that I do with it. It's a Mr. case before. Once a Musa, I didn't know Attorney General or because you Ghana. Now, statistics before it cost a lot of money. It cost a lot of money. Who can live a criminal case there. I will see making sure say accused, opportunity there the money or the claim is the money. It is a new judge and says, let's start a new case, measure the demeanor of all the witnesses. Muslim penny. The way you can say, Attorney General who connive with judges to get favorable a kind of saying judgments a man not binding a party, you can't almost someone say. Now new judge now also let's start the case afresh, They can't open new case, And what Chief Justice your by token. No far I send it message to their comma you judge me say transfer no Kumasi. Oh sorry, I no go na sorry them so usu nyame. U manu tukuni usu nyame pa. I don't know Yankopon no am say ni tell me di agro pa. mob before say kwan bia so person kunu too. Because under the old judge, you know, Mansa Musa yi asem na obi odi a can say a witness that to be odi that no could be a friend advance kuru mu a we jaya asem no na yi di ono na asem na ye hwe ye chi na yi di asem no na man punishment ansa na asem no kwa ba beto aso ye di opuni asem one doctor Ampunu so bia or state witness I go for dame kwase sa omba we central ye chi ba ko ti wo central enke say judge no ko for friend simple oh we finish onu yiga ko so judge sem no di sa na o di adansu kumu na ya che no na sem no di or punishing no you we a witness bia obebu say wo kotena ho na so okaka no kure ana wo kokan dia wonni wanye wodi ma so judge no kan wo yin ka o anya hwe wo de yanko case ne so kama okuli ni judge ne kwa ni lawyer e bro wo judge wa attention to wait ne kwa so da bi yanko asem ne so na say e ba so okuli kura no yi jeli ni kura na sa intro na Godfrey Damene witness ni be na ya she no obituma gina no so da koye appeal what is kwase ni bi da sabe what is kwase ni bi da iti e kwan biaso ompeso mu faso no mi jiri upuni ani abongo because fertilizer ya na ho asema ye kin enka wo attorney general no wo witnesses no class you include farmers a omo apply fertilizer no kra eso nye bi omo apply fertilizer no ni hu so omo apply fertilizer no e dia effect mu nyae when nya farmer ba ko kra as witness opuni enya farmers bebre fara voluntarily bebre yeso mabe ababe ye ayi obabe witness amano na mu di boni mo ise wo man mu men kase obi aye boni a ye na mbranche kire se wo bi obi could na court on criminal charge e wo so man opportunity biara no be defend no what you want mu di boni we na musura na makofa nyamisem wo de akata muni na musise yi nyamisem aki musise nyamisem aki na mu di bone na new judge tokoni new chief justice you buy offer pen a transfer ukuma they say nkrankwa yi hia no the same thing when you a question case when you a MPP tax no ko kumasi ko ni court no judge na not this case no so ona no ma transfer na back ayaka ona ti question case no so on should be some no sama me na MPP tax ko cheki no court kumasi na udani no tax we don't court e come out fine thousands.
As we speak about Nyamesum, also the new Patriotic Party Women's Wing presents National Day of Prayer. The theme is with God all things are possible. Jesus looked at them and said, with man this is possible, but with this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Matthew 19:26. Monday 10 October. Hey, Jesus, grab me one. In fact, everybody sitting and seriously taking NPP, this particular NPP in particular, taking them serious, no. People should have their minds examined.
Only young people, Jesus, that Danny Paul Cronum, and you bonnie. Are you fake? And the same thing, I'm a fan, a gift up in Dazu, or one of our Bob and people, Mabiano, somewhere a group, because that politics no more day.
Hey, I can bear 2 minutes until run up, Mom. Let Janet Sunday or them coffee them.
It must Musa. There can I say, yes, we need to explain to people. But Mr. Median say, and you may be too technical, I don't know. You not expect no which ye, na yapumaba. Now, politics na MPP play a kutrabu, Baumia. And the Baumia, moving on in a Masori, they are not the communion. Okujina of the Okujina of the Kay. Your mama, a call, a Muslim see only be invited now, or Koye. Now, Baumia Okujina the same thing as now, mock your mama. Malam John. And that Baumia, you know, on a Masori, them who me handkerchief. Nere Baumia nere Samere Dilay only play a Pentecost asofu Nyameshe ne yi Musa everywhere you are asori dem. Again, a vote no dey fair. Enye yamsun bia. Mi nuanu Ghana mo maye bia ya gymnast ankofu omo de Christianity any religion. Omo de that genital of too much or Ghana ho. Do ye na yamsun bio. Nyam soon biara Mansa Musa. And your votes are all pay. Votes are all pay. Now, who could say Bokrama, Chief Imam, say, who will see my Yama, no other down. See, there's a project here, and the young man can move on a into one of day. It's about me for promising about 2 years ago to this Yama. Papa bi de also throw Islamic the book bi ba we akọ to we have to be when ntiaka in that damn kwa only said ba we finally all call voter register kwa we so kwatina hotel say nipa na asem na to mo mbra hotel no nta sa no amfi no it's a mind they did not mind him. Professor Jenano Upukwadima, your mama running mate for 2020. Mansa Musa said the risk Mami could take here. He wanted to see the thing firsthand, the extent of damage. That is what leaders do. That is what leaders do. Now, no position kwa, a kufa position kwa na fianchem isia, uturika. As for Rollins in Vienna, I didn't see no announcement. Same thing at a nurse, what I say, at a nurse to take you over. No, I'm a TV, and it's just top foreign affairs minister saying it, Obekaya. I'm a China at a nurse, a story feeling passo, a shade the crack also. Now, only so called meaning a leader the visa bar while Kasako with your first hand aya. Who are to take BB? Only listener for some else to take it from that ayinum. Madam Zapato,
get you, pa.
Aha. Opo Machino, only said building never. Nasana Dana a 5 services only needs a platform no really. It will call a high-rise building to do it me a year. That was a picking a while. Next year, only arrangements for procurement for a Sanya Maniama de equipment a 5 services for. Okay, 2015 was 2015. A Jebina, if you told heavy man, the whole of a circle, a flood year, petrol tank be a pie. We just put machine for the building.
Yeah.
What was there? Machine on the mission. Ekufuado Day. Yes, spelling 15th September, started spelling. No, 2 feet Ghana, 11th of October, almost 1 month. Almost started almost spelling, almost 1 month. No, Ekufuado 2 or the call 11th of October, because America. So, or come and speech you now I need more important. Obaye, also your vice president put a fair or catch it. It's not pretending to say no only, but me chief of staff my friend. Obaye say I want to now call a Euro street. Over you do and some of my announcement is a of course, yeah, in some fun of a catcher or Ukasachiro or him for the crowd in some you, I want it to start from you. Mansa, can a good father of God could now prove when you point to some being at you. All I know which is in the middle of a catcher. Papa, you do be and Tian or the especially in animal voter radio. Who didn't want to who didn't want to say? Do be our mind. Not the answer on any tune or the better now. Oh, by yes or man now in the institution, you are the bazaar. It's a local governance, it's your keke. It's your keke in name, it didn't Canada. It is not functioning. Local governance is not functioning. Who call a NHIS, a security, a service providers, Moka. This matter, Mr. Dick Biara, who milk back over Ghana, Utia NHIS, a year is a cocoa, Sardine. Scan no service providers, it's the young Moka. Buffer stock. We say a secondary school or when you go to the end of the Comomo, you draw Moka, buffer stock in this thing, draw Moka, or Momo supply of Indian, only this thing, draw Moka. But rather, no, almost means Scadia Ma, one cronies to be no more to tell you and anything change at the Coma. Secondary school sneaky. What's a Musa? And Yama, just a big bazaar or my because company bi ebetna airport so many diska covid you bisa finance minister also minimum you bisa foreign affairs minister also minimum you bisa health minister minimum national security minister kanda pap say only momo you think of no ya so I sure about you to feel we ma BBC kutuka airport ho on be set up on equipment on the test no. I mean, what is this? Dear Granny, what is this? Never be here, you on mining Sasia, prime Lanza, Kwame Nkrumah, or she shall mine, or to go away, they get into Dimadachino, or Musa Satina. Nasia, Tema, as a children's library, land be a daho. Omuda koma Chinese for this be developed. Nina so bakono no mam no mo shechu. Nipa na wabaso on no be develop or invest pan. O scan o mo ria no no muda ko Chinese paneki akoffa ni paneki. Nka nya bro ni be ya wa bebe to sagle me housing na yigu ho. O fi me jegu empro. Adenya o bi diska wum nti ye de na court. Obi cost financial loss e wo mti e ne court no just sa e japadi ni e diska shemu we dey go my pro ni pasu gba bontin nya ba binda ami e dey modam sem kwa no masa na nya nwa because uko the same uko ukape omusi kufu affordable housing any we buy one trust we buy masa musa le kula kufu affordable housing ni say there was no a particular contract to be on the adjudication is that one now yes adjuma we at least with Sagleme housing project, there was a particular contractor. Into unknown subcontracted a Ibima Ubia, unknown Mujili. But when would the Anyaku Munumata Musa, Professor Messi take you over no Mukoko? There was no particular contractor or running at the end or Yadian. No more Ubi subcontract. There was say, hey, we supply me, we the mobile back, we the 1 inches, go back, we say, we never position there MPP. Be a more original executive. It is the there was no dedicated funding for Sa. John did a room say, we go Kushia Nebu of an Opposiska. We go some blood to move on our Opposiska. It's your mobile, who send him and Musa or she do nothing now. It's almost the mass snake. Government to do into agreement with snake. Says snake, maybe a Yamani buildings media for Kudu. Omo trust with me, you are more workers, or more phone workers need. That is how it will compare. No more compare before affordable housing. No before affordable housing. What about to project like Sagleme? But it's a contractor and a bad 2 days to say Andros and Rich. As you want to them.
The message going around is that when a day before the man will testify against NDC, he was found dead. That's the message going around.
Going to testify against NDC.
Yeah, that's the message going around.
If you want to know him say, Papa they call testify against NDC.
You see, he agreed. Let me read what I told you. He said he agreed to testify. I say, Sagleme housing contractor found dead few days after accepting to testify against former appointees in Sagleme housing scandal case.
Oh, that's always
I don't know where Abe got this from, but Abe sent it to me. Joseph Abe.
That's always over the Gofaji Diagropa. Yeah, we don't do fire during Diagrosa. Musa, we a high profile case. Our government was interested. It is a Nipano and pass or accept this or testify against the Indiana. You protect that person. You protect that person. Most suspected say he will be in danger. You protect that person. But we say, yeah, MPP, this is the type of politics that we play. And we've been playing this politics out from Kwame Nkrumah time this is today. Yeah, you need to be the same and you need to face society. This is the type of politics we play. You see, MPP accused you are Mansa, come deep, Musa. I didn't know more accuse you of Musa more guilty. It is almost accused, you almost insinuate. The moment almost started to me insinuation, you know. Also, he said, Obinoka said, something did there. Yes. The moment I both MPP started to use the something did there. I'm telling you.
Where is he?
Yes, sir.
Young Kofi.
Matty.
Young Pon. Ochina, if all things go well, I will host Adamu and Kwame.
Okay.
Kwame Boating. The two organizers will come here, hopefully.
So, that would be beautiful. Yeah.
But we see made you microphone here. Try.
You let's the newly.
All right. Listen, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your call. Good call. Thank you.
Thank you.
NFM
All
Radio.
right. Bye-bye.
Moko school, mama. Mange kufie, chida, emi. Meme mabuzo. Emi ara. Meme mabuzo. Oh, emi o. Meme mabuzo. Imo kufie sa. And now that's mine. Mange. Make sure I'm a